What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Fantasy Overwatch Underground. And I have to ask, is Coluge the next super? No, he's not. Get out of here. Stop with that talk. I'm a Coluge fan, and I'm cautiously excited about how he will look on the stage in Owl. But let's get real. He's not super. I'll talk about reasons why. This is a VOD review of Coluge, and I am going to get into it. Let's go. Coluge has a pretty interesting origin story. We are back in the GOATS era. GOATS being the actual team. GOATS inventing the GOATS team comp, and Coluge, as I'm sure you've heard by now, was part of that team. Since then, he's changed his name more than Barney does in the show How I Met Your Mother, and Coluge frankly has a past that gets talked about amongst the other top celebrities, like Tim Allen. Hey, did you know he went to jail for crack cocaine dealing? He's got that kind of backstory where people like to talk about it, they like to point it out, and for whatever reason it's stuck. Here we are, and he's an owl, and one of the most talked about things here. On this channel, you know by now though that I focus solely on play, so let me get to it. Here he is going under the moniker Fortnite Fish on Team Dark Mode, and as you saw in GOATS and now, D.Va is one of his signature heroes. He has always played a lot of D.Va, and frankly, he's looked pretty good on it. In this particular clip that we'll watch one more time, you see what I consider to be one of his signature plays. It's not aggression. I'm trying to think of the right word. It's smart aggression. He fits the Shock brand in that he has an exciting and aggressive play style, but not reckless. I do think, and you'll see in the clips to come, that he thinks very closely and makes calculated risks. And in this particular case, it looks pretty insane the way he dives in. But as you see from the clip, it works. Good mechanics, I suppose. I don't know. I haven't seen him and said like, wow, he's got insane mechanics for an off tank. I just see someone who picks his moments and uses his abilities well. And, you know, he's going to be in there getting damage with the best of them on the off tank position. Another clip from Dark Mode versus Uprising Academy, which by the way was the final of contenders in July of 2021. Here he is on the Sigma, and just like in the last clip, just on a different hero, he's using his abilities in a very aggressive manner, and it doesn't really work out in this scenario. His now again teammate Sam follows up with his aggression with the blade, and all in all, you know, he's really getting in there. You'll see that he's the one who's probably calling the initiation here on the attack. And even if he's playing Sigma, he's kind of playing Sigma dive, I guess. Uses the flux to cross and, you know, gets some with the flux. And I don't know, just an interesting play. I like to see an aggressive player, fun play style. And Fortnite Fish, aka Coluge, is at the forefront of that kind of play. In our next clip, we have False on American Tornado. This time, Booger Snot is on Dark Mode, and this is once again Coluge, so watch for Booger Snot. And, sorry, I can't keep a straight face. I really was trying. Here he has a very aggressive flux once again on False. But once again, very calculated. This is one that you've got to watch in slow-mo to appreciate his once again, it's not like exactly his mechanics, but the way he dodges False's rock and just makes himself very hard to hit while fluxing is nice to see. He's always thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead of his opponent, and in what I've seen him playing against False, I think I like him as an off tank better than I do like False. And you know, it is pretty hard to have a 1-for-1 comparison, but on the whole, I like his Sigma better, I like his D.Va better, though he may not quite have as much flexibility. Back in the day, he was Cucumber and was on American Tornado, and in this place, not the absolute best ability usage. He misses eating a grab that you could kind of tell he knew was coming, just misuses his boost in an attempt not to die. Here, this one's back in 2020 versus Odyssey. I believe it's in December. One way to show that he has been around the block once or twice, having played in GOATS, played on American Tornado, played on Dark Mode, He also afterwards was a backup for the season on Bobby Wasabi, and then moved over to Maryville Esports. So he's hung around the top of the North America contenders scene, other than when he's retired, which has happened on 2 different occasions. I do regularly like to watch Coach Hayes' videos, and while he hasn't done anything for quite a while, I'm not sure if he's still in the business of doing it, he had a 45-minute review of Cucumber Coluge in this match against British Hurricanes from quite a while ago. But he, I like Coach Hayes' opinion. It matters a heck of a lot more than mine. And in this particular clip, you see him use a flux. And Coach Hayes talks about how he uses it very much safely. He's in a position where he could have died against a rally, but he slows the push. And as much as you want to say he's this aggressive Sigma Diva player, he's also a smart one. And in this case, he's not pushing in stupidly against a comp that's rushing him. He's using an ult to survive and to stop the team's aggressive positioning and the team's rally ultimate as well. So he can pump the brake when he needs to. And in Coach Hayes' conclusion from way back in 2020, he thought Cucumber Coluge was owl ready then, not like top of the league or anything, but owl material for sure, based on the way that he played against, well, these other owl superstars, Ripakelix, Smallfig, Hottie, and Sparker. In this kind of funny clip against Uprising Academy, Fortnite Fish aka Coluge just doesn't die, and I think it's a good metaphor for what kind of player and what kind of history he's had. Social issues aside, he's retired twice, but somehow still stayed at the top of his game in North American contenders. Although he's got a Twitter timeline that looks like he belongs on the Atlanta Reign, it doesn't change the fact that even when he didn't get owl tryouts, he was still engaged in the game and still wanting to be the best. So, as it pertains to the Shock, I wish I could tell you what's going to happen. I will tell you that he's not the next super, in that we haven't seen the same level of possible tank hyper flexibility because he's really just played the off tanks. He's primarily been on Sigma and Diva, and although we've seen him on, look respectable on things like Hog and Ball on ladder accounts, we haven't really seen him play those at a high level, especially in contenders. And as much as I think his ability to persevere despite his times away from the game and stick to it and always come back on top every single time, it's tough for an organization like the Shock to hang their hat on just this one player. I think they've got a very important trial period with him right now where they have to find out, can we be successful behind this guy who has a lot of energy and apparently from recent information is a very good teammate, which is going to be needed on this multilingual team. I think he fills that gap and he has a huge upside that could be, on a title winning Shock team. But he also has a scary floor where he has yet to show owl flexibility. Yeah, we can say that about almost any other tank too. So he carries some of the same downsides that many others do. It's just from a flex tank perspective, he's not the most flexible flex tank you've ever seen. But that said, he has been able to master the meta heroes, and as seen with Goats and even with Sigma a little bit, he has been able to define the meta in his particular region and play style as well. So all in all, I do think that he actually makes a lot of sense on the Shock roster. It just remains to be seen if he can actually be their only tank, or if, within the next month we see them pick up a more experienced veteran who can fill those gaps that Coluge has not been able to pick up. Hope you enjoyed. Sorry for the troll intro, but I got to do something to try and pull people in, right? Hope you all have a good day. Thanks for watching. We'll talk soon.